If you're interested in working from home and you want to use your degree, you want to be able to use all of your years of experience, your specialization, and get compensated adequately for it, then you're going to love today's video because I'm going to share with you 2 resources for finding companies that will pay you what you are worth and will allow you to work from home. And I have never heard anyone share these resources. No one has ever talked about them. I haven't even shared them with anyone. So I'm excited about today's video, and I'm going to make sure that we know how to find these high pay work from home opportunities so we can take our talents to the house. So if that sounds good, stay tuned. We're going to get into all of the details, but first things first, make sure you hit that subscribe button and you tap that notification bell if you want to hear about the hottest work from home opportunities, especially if you have a degree, lots of years of experience, and you want a high pay work from home opportunity. This is the place to be. So go ahead and lock it on in. And now that you have taken care of that business, we are ready to jump in.
You just got to apply.
All right, so jumping on in here, we are actually going to start off at good old Google. And no, we're not just doing a plain old Google search. I'm starting off here for a very specific reason. So the very first location that we want to check out is a job board that is hosted on our State Department of Labor's website. And so if you want to navigate to the Department of Labor for your state, you would just say your state plus Department of Labor. So for me, I'm in the great state of Georgia. I would just type in Georgia Department of Labor and you can Google it and you'll go straight there. So it should be a .gov website. And so when you get there, you'll, see something that's very similar to this. All of them are kind of laid out a little bit differently, but for the most part, it'll look like this. And so what you want to navigate to next is you want to find something that says like individuals. And so now from here, I can go to job search assistance. And I wanted to start here. I could have done a Google search to go directly to where we're going, but I wanted to start off here because in case you do want to learn more information about careers, in demand roles, careers that are, in demand for your state, there's a lot of information here. And so you can look at career options and plan your job search. You can go to find resources if you have a disability, which I know a lot of people do. And you can also find like labor market information. And so, job seeker guide, this is very helpful. I loved all the resources that I saw here. And so they have very helpful information, and all of this is provided by your state. Now, we are looking for the job board. Okay, so what we would do is we would just click on find a job. And again, it might not say these exact things or laid out the exact same way depending on your State Department of Labor website, but look for something very, very similar. And whatever rabbit holes you get into, they're good ones. Because like I said, I found a lot of great information. And so now from here, what we want to click on is something called Work Source. So that's what I'm saying. You could just go straight to Google and you could type in like Work Source your state. I could type in Work Source Georgia. And now from here, I'm just gonna click on it. But also just to show you what else is on here, you can go directly to your state, local, and federal, government jobs, and you could click on some other things. I want to click on this. That's where we are headed. So that's what we're clicking on. And so from here, you should see the Work Source site. And so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna leave this blank for now, but as we can see, we can search for remote, and that's what I'm interested in. Now you could also search for hybrid. Some people are interested in doing, part in the house, part in the office. We love remote work over here, and, no problem if you like hybrid. A lot of people do, but I'm going to do a search for remote work. And so when I type that in, now it's showing me all of the jobs that are available. And remember, we did not, narrow down our search. We just wanted to see everything. And from here, you can just click on most recent. That's what I always recommend if you are looking for a job. You want the fresh, hot off the presses leads. And so now we can see what was just recently posted. And these are remote opportunities that will work for our state. So you can absolutely absolutely apply to any of these that work for your job that you're looking for because we are searching by state. And that's why I wanted to navigate directly to our state Department of Labor website. So if you're in New York, if you're in California, do the same thing, but for your state. And so now you can see everything that they have listed here. Another thing too, before I show you another resource, if you were interested in any of these, so like let's say for example, you were interested in, let's just say you wanted to do this brand manager position. If you click on it, they do have a way for you to apply. You'll have to sign up, first register and then you'll sign in and you'll apply. Now, you all may know me from my other channel, and I always say I love applying directly to the source. Now, for other situations, it's mostly about avoiding scams, but because this is a state-run website, okay, there's a lot higher level of barrier to entry to have your stuff on here. That's not the reason why I prefer to apply directly on the website. I just prefer to apply directly on the website because I don't like the middleman. So to find out how to apply directly on the company's website, you would just go directly to their website. You could either do a Google search, but they also have the link right here. So I'm just going to click on the link. And so this is the company that is offering an opportunity. And if you ever go directly to a company's website, usually at the top or at the bottom, you'll see where they have like careers listed. And so we see they have it at the top here. We would just click on careers, we'd search careers, and then from there we would search for this role, which is the associate brand manager. So we could actually, just do that to see if we find it on here. Let's do a little search jobs, and then it looks like we found it, associate brand manager. Yeah, associate brand manager. So this is the one. And so from here, if we wanted to apply to it, we could. And so this role, it says hybrid up here. Let's see where it may say remote. I know it says hybrid, Sandy Springs. So they have it listed as remote on the WorkSource Georgia website. It says remote up here. I would apply to this one. And here's another helpful thing for you guys to know. Some companies, they leave it open where they might say it's hybrid. And when you apply to the opportunity, they give you the opportunity to work from home. So you might go into the office a couple of times, but for the most part, you have the autonomy to work from home. So for the people, okay, work at home all of the time. All right. So for the people who would be interested in this, I would definitely get my application in, even though on their website it says hybrid here. We know on the WorkSource Georgia website, it says it is work from home. And I'd also point out that when you're looking for those higher paying roles, things that you're going to be able to use your degree and, you want to make good money, you might want to just put your application out there, even if it's like, is it hybrid? Is it work from home? And when you get into that interview process, you can really iron it out. But definitely once you start getting into those higher paying roles, you want to just sort of, see who's entertaining you and see what options they have. Because like I said, these roles might say hybrid, and it might say that just to sort of cover the fact that you might be going in 10% of the time throughout the year, but you're going to be at home. So this is the first website. I wanted to show you guys exactly what it would look like if you were to, follow through with the process all the way. And of course, the next step would be to just get your application in. And oh, by the way, if you need a resume, we've got you covered with the Remote Resume Builder software. This is a software that has tons of templates. These are all ATS optimized, and we have so many different options for templates. And the beauty of these is they're already filled out and you can add your razzle dazzle. So I always let folks know we've got a lot listed here, but we have way more and counting in the software. This would be 1,000,000 miles long. And you can try out the software for just $1 during our 7-day try before you buy trial. It's only $37 per month to use the software. software. And this is a super easy ATS optimized software that makes it so simple to get your application in. As I mentioned, you're going to start off using a template. So you'll start off with a finished product that looks just like this. You would just go into the builder, add your razzle dazzle. I always say it's like 90% of the way done. You just add your 10%, and then boom, you're ready to download and get your application in. So try out the software, definitely use it during your job search, and any of these opportunities that you find you want to apply to, the software makes it easy peasy to get in your resume and your cover letter, because we have templates for both. So you can easily submit a cover letter. They're already pre-filled out. It just shows that you're really interested, and it helps you add that extra razzle dazzle. So now let's move on to the second resource that I want to point out for finding tons of hot leads. This one is probably my favorite. So now for the second resource, and this one is probably my favorite just because I love lots and lots and lots of options, and maybe you will too. We'll see, okay? This second one is for a website called GSA eLibrary. And what this is it's a database of all of these companies that have contracts with the federal government. So we know that they have some money and they can pay us what we're worth. So here's the thing, okay? You could do a search and, look sort of for what you're sort of looking for. But the thing is, a lot of companies hire for many different positions. So my preferred way of searching, and I have done this many times, is I will go to this little link under the search where it says contractor directory. And then from here, you're going to see A through Z, every company that has a government contract. Okay. And so now, you're looking at all of these federal contractors, and some of these are very small companies. They don't have a careers page, but a lot of these are huge companies and they have tons of opportunity. And so this is like a very broad stroke search. But if you were like, Delilah, I want to find out about companies that have a federal contract and they got all this money, and I could go down the rabbit hole. Okay. If you can go down the rabbit hole with me, then you can just start from the beginning and go through each of these. Like if you're looking for a job like it's your job, you might say, Monday, I'm gonna go through this entire row right here. Tuesday, I'm gonna go through this one. Wednesday, I'm gonna go through this one, and find companies that I'm interested in and research them and apply. So I'm going to demonstrate how I do this, and I'm going to choose a very random company. I have not, looked into them, but just to show you like what the process is when I'm looking through this, because I definitely haven't gone A through Z. I might say something like, okay, I want to check out this company, Affirma LLC. We'll find out if Affirma LLC has anything. It might be a bust. It might be, a great company. So from here, you'll see their contact info. We want their website. And so I would just click on that. And so now, we see, okay, they have, all this information. We want to find their careers. So maybe careers at Affirma. And so now I'm going to look for view open roles. And okay, they have some open roles. Are any of them remote? And so, for example, they do have a remote position, but this one is older. And so let's see what else they might have. So right now, Affirma doesn't have anything like brand new, but we do see they have a remote position. So like if I was pretending like this was something I want to apply to and it was recent and something I really liked, I just click on it, see if it works for me. And then if it does, I would get my application in. So the upside to this option for finding lots of, companies that have money is it's a lot of options. But the downside is you may not find remote positions for every company. And, that's not really that bad of a downside, but like these are tons of leads. And I have found some really great opportunities that aren't on the job board. So like, let me just do another demonstration. I'm going to go with B. Why not? And so I'm going to check out, let's see, Bio. That sounds like they have some money. We could go to like, I don't know, I've never heard of this. Bio Mario. I don't know how you say that. Mariox. I'm gonna click on that. And so I've never heard of this company before, but we know they are a federal contractor. And so let's just navigate to their careers page. Let's see what their careers. That's where we want to go. And so now I'm going to search remote and see if they have anything remote right now that might work for me. 19 remote jobs found. Yay! Okay, and so I just want to narrow this down to the United States. Looks like they hire in a lot of locations. And so from here, let's see. Let's say I might want to apply to this one. I'm a field engineer or maybe an IT manager, project manager. Let's see what the location is. And sometimes you have to be curious and go into them and see if they hire in other places than Salt Lake City, Utah. So, you can scroll down, see if they have any of that info. And so, it might work. Position is based in Salt Lake. Okay. So this one wouldn't work, but maybe this one. Let's check this one out. Okay. And so I know this one's for Atlanta. You have to be based out of Atlanta. So this one would actually work for me. So I did find a remote position and maybe the job works for me. Maybe it doesn't. But as you can see, you can find tons of options when you do it this way. So I hope this has been helpful. If you are interested in more information, more work from home opportunities, then definitely subscribe to this channel. And I also have another channel and I share lots of work from home information over there. I also have more resources. So I shared with you the remote resume builder software, but if you want help with your job search, definitely check out Extra Leads Club. This is where we do the job searching for you. Every weekday, bright and early, we find lots of hot work from home opportunities, and there's a little something for everyone. And you can try out Extra Leads Club for just $1 during our 7-day try before you buy trial, and you can see how helpful it is, and it's very helpful. And then also we have tons more companies on the mega list of jobs. This is where I add all the companies I share in my videos. And so you can search for what you're interested in. If you're interested in any type of role, you can search and see what kind of companies we have that will hire you to work from home. And I'm always adding to the mega list. And last but certainly not least, if you need your home office set up, check out my Amazon storefront. There are so many economically priced pieces of equipment to set up your home office. And I'm always talking about computers. You need a computer to work from home, and Amazon's got you covered. So thank you all so much for watching. I really hope this has been helpful, and let me know if you have found any opportunities using these two different resources or if you're going to check them out. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.